watching The Jackie Jackson on The Jackie Jackson Show, real estate coach and investor. And today we are on our way to go check out some properties that's coming up for auction next week on the tax deed roll, okay? So tax deeds out in Brevard County. So we're going to check out those properties. But before we do that, I want to show you everything that I bring with me when I am out and about and looking at properties, okay? So one of the first things that you'll notice is my safety vest, all right? I know it looks kind of silly, but I wear the safety vest so people understand and see that, yeah, I'm different, right? I'm not just walking around and trespassing on anybody's property. They're going to ask me, who am I and why am I wearing this vest? And I want them to, because I want them to know who I am. I'm a real estate investor and I'm interested in buying a property in this area, this neighborhood, and that's normally how I answer that question. The next thing I always do is wear long pants. I try to cover my legs because you never know what kind of condition a property is going to be in. If you got to run from a dog or something like that, you want to make sure that you're in comfortable clothes. And I always wear closed-toe shoes, all right? So that's one of the main things that I do. I put my little sneakers on, make sure I got a rubber sole. Sometimes I even wear boots, especially if I'm going out and inspecting a property. I want to make sure that I cover all of my legs and all of those areas are safe. Sometimes I even wear a long sleeve shirt. Today, I'm wearing a short sleeve. It's Florida, it's hot. I'm hot. Long sleeve was just not the answer. All right, so come on a little bit closer and I'll show you what's inside the box. All right, so I always wear and keep a safety hat, right? I always keep a safety hat in here, so always looking kind of cute, because you know it got to match my vest. All right, so that's one. The next thing I bring always is wipes. You never know when you have to like wipe something off or wipe your hands off or disinfect something. It's a dirty world out there. The next thing I always do is off. I remember one time that I was inside a property and I had no idea that it was infested with fleas. So you want to make sure that you have your bug spray and you spray yourself and you protect yourself against like fleas, ticks, any type of bugs. It's like really gross out there. But remember, the dirtier the house, the more profit it is, all right? So the next thing I always do, I have a little sunscreen. So this one is actually like a twofer. So it has sunscreen and an SPF as well as the DEET, I think it's called the DEET off spray or bug spray. It's about the same thing. So you got one like this and then you got one like this. They're about the same thing. Doesn't matter. Then I have my clipboard, which has my property information sheet on it. I have a pen to write down details of the property that I'm looking at. And then I also have a sales agreement too. So a sales and purchase agreement. Why? Because if I had the chance to speak to the seller, why not? I want to be able to make an offer right there on the spot, right? So always make sure that you have a property information sheet as well as a purchase and sales agreement, just in case you get a chance to speak to the owner. You can make them an offer right there on the spot. All right, so also that. And then last but not least, gloves. Like I said, it's a dirty world out there. You want to make sure that you cover your hands, okay? And oh, one more, sunglasses. Why? Protects the eyes, but it also makes you look cool. All right, so come on. We're about to go check out some properties. I'm out and I'm driving and I'm getting ready to visit a couple of properties that are going up on auction, on tax deed auction in Brevard County. Now, I don't even live in Brevard County. I live in, a different county. But in the state of Florida, there are 67 different counties that make up the state of Florida, right? So there's plenty of opportunity if you are having trouble finding houses to make offers on in your backyard, right? So that's one of the biggest tips that I give my coaching clients is, if you're marketing and you're farming in your own backyard and you're sending out letters and you're marketing for motivated sellers and you're not getting the rate of response that you're looking for, there could be quite a lot of different variables that could be causing your lack of response. But don't be afraid to cross over counties and go to another area that's outside of your immediate area. That's what I do. I have found that in different counties, you may have a totally different market cycle where so your area may be like a seller's market where the demand is really high and the vacancies and availability of properties is pretty low. So sellers are in a really good position to ask for pretty much whatever they want, even though it may be unrealistic. So you can go just a few streets over or a few, counties over, next county next door, and it'd be a totally different market. It could be a buyer's market over there where there's plenty of inventory and sellers are really not that picky, because they need a buyer. So anyway, so that's just my quick tip. So we are headed out to Brevard County right now, and I got my list off of the county's website for the tax deeds. And tax deeds, there's a lot of reasons why a property would come up on tax deeds. Well, the first thing is obviously they owe real estate taxes, right? A couple years delinquent, behind on their taxes. Oh my goodness, it's about to rain. Anyway, but I got an umbrella, so it's okay. So there's a couple of reasons why properties go out on tax deeds, right? So Florida is both a tax deed as well as a tax lien state, right? So if you're watching this video, the first thing you need to do is understand if your state is a tax lien or a tax deed state. All right, so Florida does both of them. All right, and within each state they have their own statutes in regards to real estate for tax deeds and tax liens. So you want to find out the rules. You want to find out what are the guidelines around tax deeds and tax liens in your state. So in the state of Florida, if you buy a tax deed property, you, the owner or the successful bidder in that auction, after you participate in a tax deed auction and you win, you have the right to immediate possession of that property. Immediate possession. That means it's yours. You bought it, it's yours. You can have it. Even if someone is occupying that property or they live there or it's vacant, whatever condition it's in, it's yours if you're the successful bidder. All right. So you want to make sure that you do your homework and you do your research before you go out and you start bidding. Now, if you are a tax lien investor, right, that's much different than a tax deed. The deed, you get the property. The lien, what you are doing is you're bidding for the amount of interest rate that is acceptable to you when you have the tax lien. So it's a lien on the property, right? So what you will get from there is actually interest. That's what you would get. You wouldn't get the property, you just get a certificate which allows you to earn interest on the taxes that you paid on behalf of somebody else, really, right? So that's really what the tax liens does. And in the state of Florida, they have the tax lien auctions, and it's organized in a bid down process, right? So what does that mean? When you have a bid down process, that means that every investor that is participating in a tax lien auction, what they're really doing is they're bidding against each other to see who would actually take the least amount of interest. That's what bid down mean, right? So it starts out at the highest amount, and then it says, okay, well, will you accept 18%, 17%, 5%, 2%, 1%, and it goes all the way down to 0.25%, like a 0.25% interest. And you're like, whoa, that's like nothing. But people buy tax liens anyway because their intent is to hold on to that certificate and wait until that certificate's anniversary, and then they apply for a tax deed auction with the county. All right, so they take their certificate and they say, okay, I've had this certificate for a couple of years now, I want to get my money back. So they apply for a tax deed. So here goes the county wanting to do a tax deed auction so that they can pay back the certificate holder, right, and redeem those certificates. Anyway, so that's what I am doing right now. I'm headed out to Brevard County because there's a tax deed auction coming up and I want the property. So I am headed out there to do my due diligence. Now, I don't always drive out there, to go see properties. I may research them online, but I always want to lay eyes on the property nonetheless. So whether I go or I send one of my associates to go, somebody who's local to that area. You want to physically go and check out the property, check out the neighborhood, take some pictures, and make sure that you understand what's going on with that property, in addition to your due diligence, right? Your research that you do on that property to make sure it has, a free and clear, a high probability, I should say, rather, a high probability of you obtaining marketable title if you are the successful bidder, because some properties are going to come with liens on it, and some properties are not, right? So the properties that we're going to go see right now does not have a mortgage on it, which is pretty cool. However, it does have some other types of liens on it, which may or may not survive the sale of the auction, but we'll see. All right, you just got to do your homework. All right, so when we get out to the property, I'm going to show you the neighborhood, and you are going to be enlightened. You're going to cash flow your life with the Jackie Jackson, so stay tuned. Talk to you soon. So we just got to Cocoa Beach, Florida, in Brevard County, and this is my first property that I stopped at. And when you look online, the property appraiser's website says that there's a single family house here. And when you drive out here, to my surprise, guess what we found? Are you ready? Hold on to your dickies. Let's see. Welcome to the single family house that is actually not here. So this is why I always tell my clients, whenever they are going to participate in an auction, make sure that you do your due diligence. And then part of your due diligence is actually laying eyes on the property. So even if you are not in the area, you're not from the area, you're a virtual investor and you live someplace else, you can pay someone to come out and look for. You can joint venture with someone that's going to be boots on the ground and that can lay eyes and take pictures before you invest in something that you have never, ever seen. There is no house here at all. I mean, just a plain old open lot. And when you even Google the address for this property, because I Googled it before I got here, and Google will show you on their maps, they have like an image of the house. I went to the properties appraiser's website, there was an image of a house, and I come out here, and guess what? There's no house at all. However, I still believe that there's great opportunity out here nonetheless. So when I look at this neighborhood, hey, how are you? What's up?
How are you? Good video.
Thank you. So as you can see, neighbors, everyone, they see you videoing, they want to get in the shot. But this is the reason why you always want to come out and do your due diligence, because you just never know. All right, there is no house here. So if you are a virtual investor and you were thinking about buying this property online, everything looks good. Okay, it was supposed to be a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. Now it does have some code enforcement liens. It has a lot of liens on it, and I was going to go back and take a look at those liens and see what they are for. But obviously, it's because they cleared this lot. That's what it's for. The county wants their money back because they tore down this property, all right? So we don't know why they tore it down. I would have to do some additional investigation. But at the end of the day, I'm probably not going to go any further because this empty lot right here doesn't do anything for me. But while I am out here, I did notice one thing, that the house across the street is recently renovated and it is for sale. There's a lockbox on the door there, and I suppose that it's probably for sale, or maybe it's rented or going up for rent or something to that effect. But walk with me. So here we are in this neighborhood. We're going to make a day out of it. And when I do come out to neighborhoods, what I do look for is I want to see what the neighborhood is. It quiet? Because it's a Saturday right now. So is it a quiet neighborhood? Are people hanging out on the street? What do you see? And I give every neighborhood a grade. And that grade is like, to school when you used to get like an A, B, C, all the way to like an F if it's a failure. And this is a really nice neighborhood. It's really cool. I would probably give this neighborhood kind of like a C, you know? It's an average neighborhood. Nice working class people are here, and people are just living and working and, you know, having a good time. So this is a really nice neighborhood for you to get a property at a starting cost, you know, real bread and butter, and then infuse some value in it and actually make this like a renovation, right? So for like a whole first time home buyer type of property. That's what I would do with this kind of neighborhood, right? So if you look here, I can tell that the house is just based off of the styles alone, all right? That this neighborhood was probably a subdivision that was built like in the 50s. You know, it's pretty older homes here just by the style of them, the architecture of them. So a lot of them are in their original state, right? They have all the original stuff from when they were originally built. So these homeowners here have a high probability of wanting to sell because there's a lot of maintenance with these properties, because now they need to be brought up to a modernized state in order for new younger buyers to come in and want to purchase them. So they may be willing to negotiate. But my goodness, I am so surprised that there is no house right here. Like, I'm sad because I was really looking forward to seeing this property, but ain't no house here. So let's walk down the street real quick. Let's go say hi to some neighbors. Here's some people coming. Let's say hi to them and let them know that we're looking for properties in this neighborhood. So come on, let's go. Oh, golly. Oh, man. This house looks interesting. Hi, how you doing? Good. Do you know of any houses or anything for sale? Anybody like selling a house in this neighborhood?
First of all, my mom's house is being sold.
Yeah.
And there's a couple.
There's one on
other
Highland.
On Highland? Okay.
There's a few on, I think 2 on West Highland, and then one on
One like this?
like, you know this
Yeah.
one right here where the school is?
I can find it.
Pineda?
Pineda?
Pineda.
Oh, Pineda with a P. Okay.
There's like a road. Then you go come down Bristol.
Okay.
And like
There's a few down there for sale.
on Bristol.
All right.
Not too far. We just go around this.
Hey, pretty
We're all
girl.
in this neighborhood.
There's a whole bunch of them in this neighborhood.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I mean, you find signs.
Everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
Whole bunch of for sale by owners. People are trying to sell. Why they moving out? Just why? You don't know? Why your mama moving? Why's mama? Oh, the land. Oh, she rented. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're leasing.
We're renting.
Yeah. Hence the big suitcase. You guys moving? That's
I'm actually taking it back because, bro, I should look at it before I bought it.
all right. Cool.
That
Oh, the handle's coming off. No, you gotta take that back,
The
girl.
wheel.
Yeah, it's wobbly. You gotta fix that. Yeah.
No, they need to fix it. I'm gonna get my money
You gonna get your money back?
I'm gonna get my almost $40 back.
All right, y'all have a good one. Bye. But that's my point. You always want to talk to the neighbors. You know why? Because the neighbors are going to spill the beans. When you come out to any property, you want to make sure that you knock on doors and you talk to neighbors and you're very, very friendly and you say hello to people, because anytime there's someone that's walking the streets in the neighborhood, just let them know what you're interested in. Hey, I'm trying to buy a house. You know, a house that's for sale in this neighborhood. She gave me like 5 addresses, even directions of how I can get to the area. Even the house that her mama live in is being sold for sale by owner, and she said that there's like 4 more properties over there that's being sold. So let's go check it out. I'm not gonna walk that far because it's hot out here, so let's go drive to that neighborhood and try to find those houses. just feels so good to be in the air conditioner. It was hot out there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now we're going to try to find these for sale by owner properties that the young lady that I spoke to a moment ago referenced. There's a property like right there that looks like it has some delayed maintenance on it. That's a good one. We might come back and write down the address for it, but it looks like it's occupied, so we'll see. Let's see. Some of the telltale signs that a property is in distress include roofs, by the way, right? So if you see a house that has like its original roof and the roof, the shingles look like they're lifting and coming off, if there's any like roof damage and they have not been, it looks like it hasn't been repaired or replaced in a really long time, that's a good indication that someone is in distress. Here's a house right here. I see a dumpster in the driveway. So that means it's being renovated right now. There are already investors in this neighborhood that is renovating properties and trying to bring them up to the highest value and trying to sell them. So exactly what I explained to you is exactly what they're doing. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's take it out. See? There goes the dumpster. There goes that house. And it looks like they're going to paint the outside of it. It looks really, really nice, by the way. All right, so here we go. Let's see. So now we're at Bristol Drive, which is pretty cool. Let's go to the right. Let's see what's happening and find out what we can do here. So we're going down the street and I'm looking for signs that someone may be interested in selling their property. I see a couple, well actually I see a lot. I see a lot of properties that could possibly use an offer. Here's one. it actually has like a tarp on the top of on the roof. So that's a definite sign that something's wrong, because if they had the money to fix it, they would have fixed their roof. I mean, water coming inside your house is no good. So that's something right there. Come back and get that address. Let's see what else is going on in this neighborhood here. Another telltale sign that a house is has deferred maintenance and distress is like high grass, right? If a house needs to be painted. Here's another one here too. This one, look. Oh, there's renovators all up in this neighborhood. That one, the windows have been blocked off and like taped, with painter's tape and plastic. So they're getting ready to spray the outside and paint that house right there. So that's another house that more than likely just undergone some kind of like renovation. And then you have pretty houses. It looks like people who are living in this neighborhood, loving this neighborhood, and really taking care of their property. So it's a mixture of rentals and it's a mixture of original owners that are still taking pride in their properties and maintaining like their landscaping, and they care, how their properties look. So you can always tell the difference between a house that is like for sale by owner and it's like a tenant living in there versus a house that an owner lives there. You could tell the difference. Like this house right here is, oh my goodness, like the grass is like to your knee. Like if you got out your car, you'd probably be swallowed by like a jungle of foliage because the grass is so high, and it has like broken windows and stuff. So that's definitely a address that I would write down just to follow up and contact that owner and see, what their challenges are, if they're motivated in selling, because people are definitely renovators, investors are definitely in this neighborhood fixing up houses one by one and modernizing them, infusing the best value in them, and then putting them back on the market. Okay. Another sign that you want to look for is the like code enforcement or foreclosure notice in the window. So whenever an owner is served, especially when it has to do with real estate, they will put the notice in the window. And sometimes it's a white paper, it's a yellow paper, but it's there. You can't miss it. So you want to look for those notices as well, because you can contact the owner and find out you know, what kind of motivation they have, and you can negotiate something with them and try to take that property off their hands and help them out of their situation. All right, now the next one that you want to look for is the trash can. So I like to come out to communities like on garbage day, giving you all the goodies. Come out to a community on garbage day, because then you get to see which houses are actually vacant. All right, because no one's living there and the house is vacant, no one's taking out the trash. Everybody else's trash is like out in front, you know, waiting on the sanitation guys to come, and then you have like this 1 or 2 houses that there's nobody like maintaining that house, and the trash can is not up front. So that's a real great indicator that a house is vacant. So go, don't be afraid to drive neighborhoods and look around neighborhoods and see which houses the trash can like never moves. That's a good one too. All right, and let's see. So I'm on the street that the young lady mentioned, and there are quite a lot of properties out here. So this is a really good neighborhood to come out and farm in. I'm in Cocoa Beach, Florida right now. So if anybody is looking for opportunities, Cocoa Beach is pretty cool. You want a joint venture with me, we could do some stuff out here. Wow, oh my gosh, look at this house. What in the world? It has like 10 tarps that are all frayed. And dude, what the, it has like 5 broken down cars. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so there's plenty of situations going on out here. There's plenty of stuff. There's things that you may not see every day, but you'll definitely get a chance to see them. So again, this is Jackie Jackson, cash flowing your life with opportunities to invest in real estate, teaching you some techniques. We came out here to look at some properties that were going up for auction on the Brevard County tax deed auction. Got out here and there was no house. Okay, so online it says that there was this, you know, really nice 4-bedroom 2-bathroom house, and next thing you know, I got out here and there's no house here. So that was crazy. And we just decided to drive this neighborhood and to really see what else is going on out here. So thanks for watching. I'm going to write down these addresses and contact these owners and make them an offer. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.